You know, truckers, we're a breed that fixes things. If it breaks, we patch it. If it leaks, we tighten it. If it don't move, we haul it anyway. But there's one thing we can't seem to fix. That's people. And I'll be honest with you. Recently, I was reminded of that myself. See, I've been wrestling with doubt and a number of other things, wondering where I was going to steer this whole mission that I call Truckin City Media. Have you ever had one of those weeks where the noise gets louder and louder and really begins to drain out the purpose in something you really feel passionate about? No, that's one of those things I recently experienced. But in all of that, it only took one conversation, one person reaching out to remind me and others. Sometimes you don't find yourself by working harder. You find yourself by being heard. These people today, people don't need fixing. They just simply need to be heard. That's what this show today is about. I encourage you, listen in and be part of it. Let's get to
Mega carriers love inexperienced drivers.
all in 24,000 in the box. You saw what it is? Let's get on the road. You're done. Greetings, truck lovers and truth seekers. BossMan here, coming to you from the Truckin Broadcasting headquarters, giving you a dose of life behind the wheel and critical thinking, fueled by faith, sanctioned by God. If you feel like you can contribute to the message and the mission being delivered from here at Truckin City Media, I encourage you, go down below, hit the subscribe button, join our membership here at TI Nation. We'd love to have your input and help make trucking great again. Today's story is simply, if it'll propagate right, there it is, about a man up in Wisconsin, a fellow driver named Jason Johnson. Link to the story, by the way, is down below. Runs through long miles for a company called Breakbush. Keeps America fed one load at a time. Now, Jason went through something most men would have kept buried under a mile of pride, basically. Pain, struggle, the kind of quiet that gets loud when you're alone on the road. But instead of shutting down, he opened up. And as you see before you, he wrote a book called One Mile at a Time. Now, this is not by any means an endorsement or a sponsor or anything like that. I like the story and I like what it means. And he wrote the book not to tell the world how strong he was, but to deliver the message, hey, I was hurting and I needed someone to listen to. I saw the story and it kind of got me thinking, well, I've been there and I personally had on my show and know other people that have been in exactly that place. So let me ask you, when was the last time someone really listened to you? I mean, really sat down and actually took the time to hear your thoughts. I mean, recently I posted what seemed like a I'll call it a bitch session in a community post on my channel, and I thought it would be refreshing to open up about some frustrations that I was experiencing. I mean, it's nice to be honest and it's nice to have an opinion, But it only took one person responding to that post to suddenly wake me up to how short-sighted that post was. Driving with John, I want to thank you for that reply, but you kind of reminded me, hey, the world's a lot smaller than I give myself credit for a lot of times. And in that, seeing this story and seeing what we're talking about here, it reminded me that I don't know who's calling me, but yeah, great. I can't deal with it right now. I'm live. Stand by, guys. And now I've got to fix my camera because my camera just went offline. Stand by, guys. Technical difficulties. They hit me with every single. I don't know. I know there's audio, so I ain't worried about that. Anyway, as I was saying, there comes a time when you think you're complaining about something, and come to find out you're making a difference only to somebody else, but you're really not accomplishing it. So that's one of the things that I came to realize about that particular community post. So anyway, today's video isn't really much of a news update other than just to communicate the fact that, you know what, we all get there. We get to a point where we say we need to communicate and we need to reach out and make a difference. Have you ever been one of the guys that say, I'm fine, but really you weren't? That honestly, I do all the time. Sometimes I only tell people half the truth. Sometimes I only tell them what they really need to know. But I was recently reminded that this kind of practice can actually turn out really bad. And this basically is more personal, and I'm unable to extend a lot of detail on this, but it's remarkable how many times people try reaching out and they find a roadblock and are unable to exactly get into detail about those things. If you're one of those kind of people and you're watching this either on the replay or live right now, do me a favor. Let me know. Drop a comment. Be kind enough. Reach out. Be that person that could help somebody else make a difference. And this comment I got down below, if you could tell the world one truth about trucking, what would it be? What would you say to the generation following you about what it is that you're looking forward to? See, what Jason did, that's courage. He took up the mantle for getting the job done, being transparent. He didn't look for sympathy. He didn't look for clarity. And in that moment, his story became a mirror for every one of us who's ever held white knuckled through life thinking we had to hold it together. Sometimes what a man needs isn't a sermon, it isn't a prescription, or even a bigger paycheck, as much as those would be nice. It's a moment where somebody says, look, I hear you. Thankfully, I've built this community around the idea that we can do that. You're welcome to reach out to me at any point in time, watching this, being a member, subscribing, or just watching this on a replay. If you're not even a member of Truckin City Media, you're welcome to reach out to me via email and make your opinions known. Reach out to me at email at thatstruckinnews@outlook.com. If you've got a question, if you've got a concern, or if you just want to be heard, I read my emails. If you've got a story that you want others to know about, let me know there too. See, Let me tell you something, guys. If silence could kill, we'd be losing more drivers than just accidents. We talk about every day on this show and others similar to mine about torque, horsepower, miles per gallon, all the things that make the difference as to how to make a successful engine of trucking really work. And that keeps the industry alive. But the one thing a lot of people, especially in the media, forget about is the human part of it, the driver, the person with the story, the one who keeps America moving, the people like you and me that every day try our damnedest to make a difference. If I could tell the world just one thing about trucking, it would be this. We don't break down because the route is too hard to handle. We don't break down because of the road. We break down because we carry all the miles inside of us without an outlet. So for that, I'm thankful that I have a way in which I can reach out to people like you, like Fate, even though he tries to call me during a live show, like Driving with John, who kindly reminded me that the picture I was trying to bitch about and describe is really a lot bigger than I was actually thinking it was. Like Thumper, the guy that comes onto my show frequently and tries to remind everybody the very message I'm talking about right now. Mental health is a strong and very careful road we need to navigate. He's all about that. Grumpy Old Trucker and others that have made appearances on my show, all of you have your part to play. Most importantly, and I think more importantly, are those watching right now. You guys have a story. You guys have something to say. And let me tell you a quote that I lean on frequently. Listening is such a simple act. It requires us to be present. We don't have to advise, we don't have to coach, or we don't have to sound wise. This quote coming from Margaret Whitley. It reminds us that healing doesn't always come from fixing something. Sometimes it comes just from presence. So here's one thing I want to leave with you guys. Here's my truth to the world. You don't have to have all the answers. You don't have to be strong all the time, but you cannot stay silent. Because one of the mantras on my channel and one of the things I'm helping you with, I welcome you to become a part of, is silence is our enemy. I'm urging every one of you, reach out today, speak out to somebody, give them an opportunity to hear what you say, or me for that matter. Whatever works for you, just take that step. Because when silence wins, we all lose. Jason Johnson showed us something the world needs to remember. You don't have to have all the answers. You just have to care enough to hear the question. So let's do our part, keep conversation rolling. Let's keep everybody actively engaged. Because I'll tell you something, the more we do it, the more we actively try to put people where people belong, the more we'll actually get accomplished in this world. Just take a moment of your time, subscribe down below, hit the like button. If you do nothing else, do that. I'll tell YouTube I'm at least trying to make a difference out here. And it might just give somebody an opportunity to reach out. I encourage you guys. Keep reaching out. Keep doing your part to say, I hear you. And we'll be here to listen. I'm BossMan, critical thinking, fueled by faith, sanctioned by God. I'm reminding you, sometimes the loudest truth are the words you never speak, but the silence that listens. Till next time, my friends. Be grateful. Be thankful. And above all else, keep her